So this is Stranger and Strangest Part 2. Okay, well, at the end of the last one, I said that I would talk about what I call the two-parter problem. Um, I, you may have noticed, but there were four two-parters in this season. I'm sure you noticed. Um, and I didn't like that. There were originally only supposed to be two, and that was Stranger and Strangest and Welcome to the Madhouse. But it ended up so that Harlequin and Hush Hush also were two-parters, and that was because the episodes got longer than I thought they would be. Harlequin was really long, and Hush Hush, I didn't actually consider how much time would be put into the flashbacks. Um, and there was a lot of time. About a third of the whole episode, if not half, was the flashbacks. Um, so the problem is with two-parters, you leave people hanging, and it gets frustrating, especially when you do it so often. I'm not gonna lie, with the old Justice League episodes. You remember Justice League, right? The animated series, of course you do. Um, yeah, like when in the first few seasons, it was all two-parters, and while it gave them more time for the story, it waiting each week for the next episode was really really annoying. Um, so I understand how you feel. Okay, um, but again, I had to do it because I want to keep the time all approximately the same or close. If I have one 20-minute episode, it's obvious that I can just split it into two parts and have two 10-minute ones. And in season 3, there are two-parter episodes, and then there are two serials. Serials, I think, are better than two-parters because with serials you can it's not always going to be this big bad cliffhanger. Because sometimes you get used to the story you're watching, and you're like, okay, well, they're in a similar predicament. How are they going to get out of it? Well, I guess I'll see next week. It's just like that. Um, one of the serials just had to be one, and the other one is, well, it really could have. It was originally supposed to be like an hour-long movie, like Lego movie, but and I again with the word consistency. Um, I need to get a thesaurus, man. Um, yeah, like I wanted to have it all be episodes, keep it all the same, a full series. Where when it's a bunch of like seasons of a TV show, and then there's a movie in there, you have to figure out where the movie goes, and you're not always gonna know. Like, yeah, if it was one at the end, fine. But what I ended up doing was I gave it the serial at the end of the series, season 3. It has one title, and it's just split into part 1, part 2, part 3. I think it goes to part 7 or 8 or something like that, because I had a lot of ground to cover, and there's a lot of, I think everything was tied up in those episodes. Everything gets tied up in those episodes. Um, yeah, but the point is, the two-parters, I should have thought more. I should have thought more about this. Like with season 2, maybe I would you have preferred it if I had uploaded one longer episode, if if it meant you didn't have to wait till next week to finish the story? Tell me, or would you rather have the episodes the same time? Like each one's like 10 minutes or something. Of course, not all of them are going to be the same time. They aren't. In season 1, I had an episode that was not even 5 minutes long, black and white. Um, I think that's the shortest I've ever done. And the longest, well, you know what? You tell me. It might have been Madness. I don't know. Um, you may also notice in this episode that Clancy O'Hara is not present. If you didn't notice, you have now. The reason for that was it's a really stupid reason, okay? You're gonna laugh at me, okay? I lost the figure. I lost the Clancy O'Hara figure before shooting this, and I couldn't find him. And because I had waited a week to like trying like for this episode trying to look for him, I ended up just giving up. I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll find him later. I can write him out of the episode. He was originally in this episode, and he actually did. He actually see where Stevens was there, the guy with the gray hair. That was Clancy in that role. He was the leader position while Gordon and O'Hara, and Miles were talking. Yeah, like so. But I wrote him out, and I was like, you know what? Why not give Stevens some time? And now Croc's coming. Come on, where's Croc? There was a lot of Killer Croc this season, wasn't there? Him and Mad Hatter, they appeared a lot. They were two of the most important ones, I think, that I introduced, and Harley Quinn. Harley is going to be expanded in season 3. Okay? So don't worry about that. I know that she didn't really do anything this season, aside from her first 2 episodes, but that's fine because I'm going to get back to her in season 3. Like, she's not going to be a main character, but I'm going to give her dedication, the dedication she didn't get here. Oh, and then, like, Azrael just straight up stabs him in the throat. Oh, boy. And there goes Croc. Now, see, I thought blasting Batman's leg off would be more effective than having him lose an arm or something, because he can work around a leg. He can get a robotic leg. I didn't want it to be obvious that this is going to be reversed. Some people actually thought that I was going to go the Dark Knight Returns route and have the police know about his identity and all that. But I'm sure some of you figured it out. That this was all just, this is all going to be fixed. Yeah, but I blasted his leg off so that it would be less obvious, because Batman with a cyborg arm would be even weirder, don't you think? This is where Azrael fixes the timeline and everything goes back to normal. Only Azrael does not exist. Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave that up to you, because he shows up in Jean-Paul Valley's, his son's mind, and well, I'm gonna leave it up to you, like whether he really died or not, like what happened to him. I could just outright say it because, well, I know, but maybe if anyone cares, they can think about it. Oh boy, yep. Everything's going back, and we're back. And a lot of you said Penguin didn't really show up this season, and I guess that's true, isn't it? Well, you know what? Again with the season 3 bait, he's back. He's kind of a big deal in the underworld now. Just like he should be. He's gone from underground sewer dweller. Oh yeah, and this is where he I think this was the first sign of Bruce losing it, like manipulating or no, intimidating Strange into giving him back his own company. Like, that's just a total abuse of his fear tactics. And when Robin finds out about that, obviously he's not impressed, is he? more reason for him to leave. So yeah, that is Stranger and Strangest Part 2. And I guess that's all. Well, see ya.